Welcome to this morning meditation spiritual discussion. Yours truly, Adrian Dragan. It is a cold, extreme cold warning here in Hawk Island, Montreal this Wednesday, January 26th. First, I want to begin with a meditation of thankfulness, gratefulness. I'm thankful for this, grateful for this cup of coffee. Grateful, thankful that my rent is paid for this January and that got food for today and for a few days and up to about mid-February. I am financially struggling. I admit it. I'm not poor. I'm just broke. I am rich in kisses, poetry, songs, rants, workouts, steps, philosophy, theory, independent psychological theory, and art and creativity. I'm rich in that. I'm looking for volunteers to join, support the mission, vision, and philosophy of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, which are one empire under the sun and the stars on earth, and which yours truly, Adrian Dragan, has founded with 156 trillions. Trillions of kisses from the goddess of starlit, infinite space, infinite stars above, of the heavens above, who sent one kiss to the goddess who dances with her brother the sun to make, create, and produce all fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters farmers harvest, for us to make, upgrade, or maintain civilization, and that the leaders of the free world need to go kiss their hands, wash their feet, and give them a good massage. After my rent is paid, that's what I could use right now. A good, get in there, good massage, head to toe. Willing to trade, willing to exchange, barter, negotiate. I massage you, you massage me. That's what I got from my willingly loving allies and armies. Rap, poetry, kisses, spiritual philosophy, and not just love of blah blah blah, but love is action. Can wash, can cook, can clean, can dance, can work out, can train, can exercise, can massage, learn massage therapy during COVID, can do push-up, hog, squats, marching steel toe boots. I'm not gonna take any orders from any leader of the free world. Till they march in steel toe boots with yours truly, Adrian Dragan, calling for world peace here. Yours truly, independent artist, athlete, activist, universal spiritual teaching student, because I'm learning every day. And I got more questions, and don't have all the answers. And I'm not dogmatic about my spiritual practices, and got a lot of questions, and a lot of it, of course, I leave to mystery and wonder, since perhaps some mysteries will never be known. The mystery of being here, doing the things that we do on this plane, this mother nature earth. And I'm gonna say forgotten goddess who dances with her brother sun, who may create and produce all fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters farmers harvest for us to make, upgrade, and maintain civilization. Even this black coffee bean, which was originally in a red berry, was harvested somewhere in the world, in whether that way, Latin America, South America, or in Africa, Uganda, Ivory Coast, or somewhere in Asia and Vietnam, was harvested by my brothers and sisters farmers and got transported truckers by the ships, and I'm enjoying it now. So I'm grateful for this cup of coffee, which originally was created by the dance of the goddess with her brother the sun, who now rises and now sets. Goddess, 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 who dances with her brother the sun. The sun now rises and now sets, and although it's minus 20 degrees Celsius here in Hawk Island, Montreal, a few thousand miles that way, which is south, once we passed deeper into the south, the equator, the seasons, now it's winter here in North America. It is winter. As the equator, it is summer. It is summer in Peru, Chile, Colombia, Venezuela, Paraguay, Uruguay, Brazil. It is summer. Mystery of the solstices, of course, is a great mystery. Right? In the north is summer, in the south it's winter, and vice versa. And that is another great mystery. I mean, we know science, how the science with the revolution of the earth around the sun, right? Around the sun. And although the sun creates the movement, the light, imagine, meditate for, when I say the dance of the goddess with her brother sun, it's an abstract, mystical teaching. Right? That dance with all that light and life being shed right now on a macro scale. Although it's -20 here in Hawk Island, Montreal. Freezing my nuts, hangs, little clit dick, scarlet. Once we go deeper south, it gets warmer and warmer and warmer. Right in Florida, Texas, California now. It's probably 20 degrees in the Celsius. There's 20 degrees in the minus here, maybe 37 degrees difference. A few 100 miles south, right? But nonetheless, it's a very sunny day. It's a very sunny day. But how the revolution around the sun occurs, and the mystery thereof, right? Because the sun, although creates movement and light, planets revolve around the sun stays unmoved and most undethroned by any prophet. We can launch together United States of America, this Canadian, well, LGBTQ citizen who was an American twice in past lives. Say to the American brothers and sisters, we can launch United States, Russia and China, the ICBM rockets with nuclear warheads on them at the same time. The sun will keep on laughing at us. Fools, ye and your gods. I'm grateful. Thankful for this cup of coffee, the food. Got bread, which initially the wheat was created by the dance of the goddess with her brother sun, who now, at this moment in time, so much light and life is being shed on the macro level across so much of the earth. Here it's 11 a.m. in the morning in this Hawk Island, Montreal. But we have time zones. So if I go west, which is that way is west, that way is south, that way is east, that way is north. I mean north, east, south, west. You're looking at the rainbow flag and at the emblem of the dancing goddess, priestess who dances with her brother sun, facing west. Right? Looking at me. The back of me is west, in the front is east. To my right is south, to my left is the north. Right, and now such a macro level, so much light is being shed. And it takes a little bit of imagination and a little bit of concentration and meditation to see all that light that's being shed. Now, I'm not dogmatic about my spirituality. I'm a universal spiritual teaching student. I don't know it all. I believe reincarnations, incarnations. I was many lifetimes born here as a native before the empires of Spain, the Italian Empire, the British Empire, the French Empire, and the Dutch Empire came and colonized it before. I was born a native here before the colonization period, before 1492. I estimate it was around 1330 about, but I'm not really sure exactly the date and time, but it was before colonization. I lived many of past lives in ancient Egypt. No, I do not know how the pyramids were built, and that's another mystery. We have satellites now hovering. Elon Musk, come here for a cup of coffee in a parallel life. Science, innovation, and technology is my chosen path. In that parallel life, in this, it is of course spirituality, art, psychology, theory, philosophy, physicality, sexuality, the emotional and irrational side of life, and how important these aspects are. The subconscious, the irrational parts of life. I had a dream, it was very irrational dream. Very irrational. It was a little bit of logic and a lot of irrationality. I'm gonna come back to it. But again, don't know how the pyramids were built, do not ask. How much do I really know? I know a little bit. I know I'm going live now. It's connected via the Wi-Fi. Hackers. Ain't got nothing on me. NSA, National Security Agency, CIA, CSIS. I'm androgynous pansexual. I watch a little porn. I smoke a little bit of weed. I rap a little bit. Freedom. 7 holy, divine, sacred letter word. Freedom. Freedom's gotta be insured. Freedom's gotta be secured. It's not easy to be free. Easier said than done. You think Carl Nassib is the only LGBTQ player in the NFL? Man, get the fuck out of here. Oh, they play this any given Sunday, 11 versus 11. There's one on each side of the field. The things we don't admit, right? And I admit in some circumstances, situation, I am fucking useless. I know a little bit of dance, spirituality. I can write the best poetry, the world's greatest living dancing, millennial rainbow poet, world peace advocate. I know philosophy, theory, studied, written, tens of thousands of pages of theory, psychological and financial and economic and social reform theory. And my theory is complementary. I believe it is time for them to be implemented. But I'm not perfect. I don't play it self-righteous. Got lusts, got vices, got issues. As a matter of fact, I woke up a little bit moody. Woke up, it was 7:30. I watched a movie, great movie, old movie. I might have seen it, I don't remember. Stargate. Interesting, fascinating movie. I meditated on the possibilities that exist within this universe and on this plane right here. And I said, what am I gonna do? And I had a dream. That was very emotional and powerful. It was a powerful storm, but very irrational. Dark clouds and almost like the light was piercing, but it was the voice of the goddess, almost like the goddess. I do meditations to connect with Mother Earth and the dancing goddess who dances with her brother, the sun, and the starlit heaven above. I am a piece of dust. I'm a piece of dust. I'm a dancing piece of dust. I dance, that's different. We got egos. Egos. It's hard to fly like an eagle. We gotta secure, ensure freedom. You get the leaders of the free world, they look at the camera, go look at their paper, 6 words, read six words, and look again up. Go back, read another 6, look up with the camera again, look another 6 words in the camera. Well, unless it's statistics, equations, technical stuff, I don't do that. If you're raw, real, revolutionary, yes, I do meditate on the topic, and sometimes they intersect and there's digression of the topic. The main topic today is spirituality, the spiritual evolution, I hope. And that 7 holy letter, divine sacred word, goddess. Now I hear God. Well, I gotta balance it. I say goddess. And last night, after watching the movie Stargate, fell asleep and had a dream. It was a powerful dream. I was like in a storm, but it wasn't a storm that was harmful to me. The storm meant me no harm. Almost like a paradox, the storm didn't bother me. Almost like I was one with the storm. It was lightning, it was blackness. But then there was also color, golden, almost white flashes. Golden and white flashes and blue. And there was this big majestic trees, almost like in the baobab or the acacia trees in Africa or trees here in North America. But they were trees that I have not, at least in this life, seen before. They were big, tall, more than 7 feet, 13 feet, 20 feet, big trees with branches, not a lot of leaves on them. I was thinking, where is this? In the Amazon? And then there were also buildings. The buildings seemed kind of gray. And the only voice, I remember a powerful voice, voice that I can remember was this: I am the goddess. I am all around you. Do not fear me. Three sentences and that's it. But it seems like there was so much communication and so much dialogue that happened. But when I woke up upon my awakening, and there was irrationality to it. It was unlike a storm which can be described on the plane of the natural lived storms that I've lived through, at least in this life. There was blackness, darkness to it, and there was flashes of white thunder like, but it wasn't a lightning. It was white flashes, but it wasn't usual. And there were faces of people, many faces of people, and almost some gold, like rays of the sun, but there wasn't a visible sun. The sun was not visible. I didn't see any signs of the sun, the visible object. Right now I can see the gold and the blue sky from this underground room, office, and temple. It was an irrationality to it. And the figures of the people were not regular, everyday encounter. It was almost like in a movie, a bit of a Hollywood type of situation, right? It was very irrational. And that's what I can remember, those 3 words. I am the goddess. I am all around you. Do not fear me. And although there was a storm and power, there was a power to it, to the storm and wind. The wind, I remember, was blowing, gushing wind, powerful winds, powerful winds, strong winds. But there was no, and I was like in the midst of it. But it wasn't, no, it wasn't a regular storm that I've ever lived through. It was very, very irrational. Almost trippy. Like a trip. What a hell of a trip, man. One of those dreams, you know. The interpretation thereof, I'm meditating today. I'm gonna work out, gonna have lunch, gonna do meditation, write some poetry, read a bit, keep on advocating for world peace. Later I'm gonna be doing a workout, and I'm gonna be meditating on it. What does it mean? And it seemed like at the end there was an end to the storm. But nonetheless it was powerful. A very powerful event. And a very irrational for that matter. And we have these subconscious irrational forces, whether lusts, hidden or hidden fears, which we don't admit, or feelings, right, which are not openly admitted, right? What do people say when they go to see their psychologist, psychiatrist? And I have my own development of psychosocial theories and theories myself. I'm not perfect. I get moody, I get upset. I'm learning every day. It's a learning process. I get lustful. I get lust. Now I sit, and for the 4th weekend in a row, the Sabbath of the Dancing Goddess in the Dragon Kingdom, which begins Friday at midnight, I have set and I have sticked to the principle and the directive and the discipline that I'm only going to watch pornography during the Sabbath, which begins Friday at midnight and ends about Sunday at 3 p.m. from Hawk Island, Montreal time zone. Friday midnight, 37 hours, 49 minutes, 42 seconds, almost 38 hours, almost 38 hours, almost 38 hours officially the Sabbath for recreation, rejuvenation, rest, and pleasure. For my social, philosophical, and spiritual philosophy is embodied in some mottos or dictums or principle. Love is action. The body is a temple for purpose and for pleasure. I'm broke. I'm rich in kisses, workouts, training, rants, philosophy. I'm in debt $10,000 at the RBC Bank. I'm open for business, mainly the dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom business, for world peace, international justice, and securing and ensuring global freedom. For that trinity, attaining harmony between civilization and nature, of which now I'm using. Shout out to Hydro-Quebec workers who since 1963, through brains and muscles, have built 61 dams across this province of Quebec, of which I'm a Quebecer myself. In this Hawk Island, Montreal, I'm using now clean my smartphone, this recording, my heat, the coffee maker's on. Maybe I'll do some laundry a little later. I'm going to use clean, renewable, zero emission energy. Hydroelectric, the veins of the goddess. Whether you say goddess or not, I can be secular in philosophy and make compromises for the greater good. And it's for the greater good that I do stand. With all the imperfections and all the lusts and all the humanity and the darkness in me, and I do have aggression. I channel it, working out, training, exercising, has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for me. I understand it. Like right now, what can I use? I can use some that good goddamn east, west, north, south, or south down there, or deep south loving, man. Loving. Use a good feet wash, good massage, good neck rub. Spoil yours truly, DraganZ will be at the Super Bowl. Tom Brady lost. He's not gonna be. Tom Brady give me a neck rub with all the other quarterbacks gonna rate their hand game. You already got your millions, man. Artists, athletes. I criticize is not from a place of hate. I also have sometimes lower aspects of myself. Now I'm at the medium. My spiritual, psycho-spiritual teachings consist that we have a sort of a trinity of the self that we are composed of. The lower self, the medium, or the intermediary, the in between, and the higher self. And to that, the highest of the high or the lowest of the low. Sometimes I'm in with a foot, a little bit more than a foot, in the lower. Right? When you're out, economic, financial, commercial pressures, man. We have so much crime and this and that, right? Sometimes it's just love, because once we have my rent's paid, food's paid, man, love. And love can come in rainbow ways, right? Come in different rainbow ways. Love can be having love or friendship love, go work out with somebody, go to eat with somebody, go to the movies, go for a walk with somebody, chat with somebody, play a game, play a video game, socializing, whatever that is, right? And as much as I channel animalistic impulses and connect with nature, and sometimes just march for hours in steel-toe boots, roaming on the nature and civilization on the mountain or roundabout, I also have cravings. But whether we admit it or not, or like it or not, when somebody else touches us and our neck rubs, give us a rub, a hug, right? Some massage, pinching of the ears, it feels better. It feels better, right? Than when I'm self-massaging. Takes two to tango, as they say. I can rub myself. It does feel good. Could get an instrument. Rub. Feels good. Well, it feels much better when somebody else does it. Right? Love. If you made it this far into this video, if you're an ally and army, don't waste your time following some fool's orders, man. Start loving. You start kissing, start dancing, start massaging, start giving each other a bath. Just dance, 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 and LOV, man. Life's short. Life too short. Maybe I get Omicron. I'm double vaccinated. I'm getting my third jab. And that's it. Third final. No, fourth, fifth. Third final, man. There's no talks here in North America of a fourth jab, but from what I hear in Israel, there's a fourth jab, a fourth booster now. So three should suffice it. Maybe four. Four means law, whatever, mystic. It's the poet, Father Crowley. How do you say? We're getting jabbed. Double vaccinated is no joke. Coronavirus is no fucking joke. Before mass testing was available, I had it. I was very sick, ill for like intense for like a week and all over like 22 days. End of January 2020, before mass testing was available and before the WHO declared it a pandemic back in March 2020. I was very sick and ill. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. Very sick and ill. Right. In many ways, I died during COVID. Adrian Dragan died during COVID. Personally, there's nothing that I do want to go back to pre-COVID. I suffered, I struggled, I was depressed, I still do. I woke up a bit moody, I do wake up a bit moody. I say, God damn it, I wish I could afford a goddamn massage therapy. Players, patriarchal, I'm gonna say sports leagues, NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. No hate. Calling you out to support the formation, the Dancing Goddess International Integrated Dance League, the Dancing Goddess Army. Because y'all patriarchal sports leagues. I'm gonna say patriarchal. There's only men playing. Only one is open LGBTQ. How many you think there are in the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB who are gay or bisexual, part of my fellow LGBTQ rainbow community, yours truly Rainbow Dragon? Many. There are many, many. Even the artists. Many are not out. This past Halloween, 2021, I've celebrated 7 years. Me coming out. Androgynous pansexual. The only concern is hygiene and consent and mutual love and understanding. Love and understanding and hygiene and consent. Mutual love and understanding. Hygiene, consent, mutual love and understanding. Yeah, I get dirty, but I get back clean. Secret Service, you ain't got nothing on me, man. You might have dirt of the leaders of the free world. I take no orders from no leader of the free world until they march. Steel toe boots with yours truly, Adrian H. Dragan. Matter of fact, my message to the leaders of the free world is this. Drop down and give Dragan 013 push-ups with love and for the sake of world peace. That's my message to the leaders of the free world. Calling them to come here in Hawk Island, Montreal, 3.5 hours. March in steel toe boots. Yours truly. Starting at the corner of Sherbrooke and University, go round about Mount Royal. 3.5 hours clockwise, come back, have lunch, corner University and Sherbrooke. Go another 3.5 hours counterclockwise or clockwise, depending if we go clockwise the first time, counterclockwise the other time. 3.5 hours, 7 hours, steel toe boots. So I sending troops, military troops. I'm gonna take an order from somebody who never suffered, struggled economically, financially, commercially. Nothing personal, Mr. Trudeau. Trump, Biden, I don't know too much. I know he's my Scorpio bro. But Mr. Trudeau, you're a Westmount kid, man. You were born in Westmount. What do you know about wearing steel toe boots, man? These people are out of their minds. They're disconnected. You don't understand. I understand. Economic, financial, commercial pressures. More than you know, man. I've been through hell and back, rock bottom, suicidal, depressed. What has worked for me? Working out, training, exercising. Lost more than 77 pounds. The spiritual meditations. Accepting the irrational, emotional parts of us. The darkness, so dark aspects. That aggression. Channeling it, brothers, peace, brothers and sisters. Channeling it through understanding it and through action, love and understanding and channeling it. Working out, training, exercising, dancing, doing art, rapping, loving. Our homoerotic, bisexual lust and fears, hidden fears that are driving us towards the homicidal and suicidal impulses, man. This North American civilization, Western civilization, lots of it comes from the unfulfilled sexual impulses and the unfulfilled sexual lusts, the psychological dimensions, how we don't know how to deal with the irrational, the emotional, right? To feel, unfortunately, hatred, right, that exists in the world. I've dealt with it, with hatred, jealousy. Thank goddess, I'm gonna say goddess. I don't got hate in my heart anymore. Out of love, man. Shit. I don't turn the other cheek either, man. Be avenged 77-fold, motherfucker. Alright, a massage, rap, kiss, march, love, dance, art. Right? But I don't turn the other cheek. I like to say I don't owe nobody nothing, man. We do owe the sun, in a way, right? I do owe the farmers who harvested this coffee bean for me to do this video live, and the brains and the muscles of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of workers who built Hydro-Quebec 61 dams, just meditating on the things we took for granted during this COVID. Meditation, meditation, and meditation that I did. All things we take for granted. Because once we have fulfilled, so it's the basics, the rent, the food, the shelter, it's cold, so we gotta heat all these. It's the other factors, the love. And love is action, to be guided, right? Sometimes just saying to somebody I love you, maybe it's not enough. Maybe they need a massage, a kiss, a good neck rub, or XYZ, a good kiss, or that loving in all ways, rainbow ways, whatever it is, right? So back to the dreams, the irrational parts of dreams. I'm putting this question: have you ever dreamed such a dream that was so irrational, the subconscious, that there was almost no logic to it? It was all distorted images and mixed with perhaps symbolism or forces from the subconscious, which sometimes lie dormant and sometimes we express, or we're unaware that we act. We get triggered, we get emotional, right? Over XYZ reasons, spiritual reasons, right? When I say goddess, perhaps it triggers some people. Goddess, that's the divine feminine. You say God, 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 God. G-O-D, G-O-D, G-O-D. Well, if I die, get Omicron, although I'm double vaccinated, had COVID, and there's nothing that I want to go back to pre-COVID, and I do understand for their economic, financial, commercial reasons, so many CEOs, executive directors who had economic, financial, commercial invested interests, players and owners of the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, they rush back to business real fast. Have millions of stakes, right? Salaries have been increasing since 1984 exponentially. Other salaries, truckers, farmers, nurses, grocery store clerks have stagnated in majority. Should have been up, up, right? The things we take for granted, the essential work. During COVID, I had 3 essential employments. Temporary, few months, but nonetheless, due to the structure of it, the precarious work, my solution to that for a new world order of world peace, international justice, and security and ensure global freedom is the Dragan Army, officially international citizen integrated social security and service force, to be of security and service. The services that can be provided 24/7. For example, we need help with the children and family that are driving them nuts. They're too hyperactive. Medicine won't help. East, west, north, south, Dragan Army. Take the children for a run, for a jog, for dancing, for a little bit of sports. Do some push-ups, do some clapping, do some singing with them. Right? They channel their energy. Teach them in education the body is a temple for pleasure and for purpose. In sexual education, in psychological education, in love and understanding, right? And in action. Yeah, to get dirty but get back clean, we got microbes, bacteria, germs. The balance between the public and the private. I'm in this underground room of some temple. Literally underground. Not abstract or mystical. Literally underground in Hawk Island, Metropolis Island, big city. Underground here. Room of some temple. To write poetry, work out, train. I've lost more than 77 pounds. Open for business. Calling all willing loving to join the dancing artists in the Dragan Kingdom. In the past 7 years, although struggle, I've still made the libraries of the city of Montreal, Hawk Island, my second home, and read tens of thousands of books. I've written tens of thousands of pages of theory, philosophy, songs, creative ideas, and many of my theories now giving a trinity of theories, complementary theories, and parallel theories, citizen integration theory, democratic fusion theory, and debt refusion theory. Those 3 to be, calling for them to be implemented in the dancing artists in the Dragan Kingdom for creation of the 2 complementary covenant cooperative institutions of the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, for rejuvenation and pleasure and purpose, and education in the environment, and doing better with the recycling, compost, and everything that has to do with balancing nature and civilization, and as well as the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, to be integrated with all existing public and private security forces and armed forces, to be of security and service, my brothers and sisters, to secure and ensure freedom, food, housing, and transport. Once we have those 3 secured, we can ensure the 4th dimension and work on the 4th dimension. Extra goods, extra services, for example, to my allies and armies. I am thy servant, can cook, can wash, can kiss, can massage, can dance, can rant, can read, can write, can philosophize, can march. Services, whatever can be, with no shame, no guilt, just 1-800 number on the ground. Integrated with all public and private organizations and institutions across all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, integrated in with applications calling on volunteers to do the Dragan Army app, Dancing Goddess Army app, to secure food, housing, and transport. Once those 3 are secured, food, housing, and transport, can encourage people to work out, train, volunteer, do community work, and put cities in integration and learn. For example, how the dams here, 61 dams in Quebec, how farming is done, how farming is integrated, supply chains, how all these interconnected, art, science, philosophy, education, security, how all these things are intersected and interconnected to be totally integrated, right? Love. Love is action. Back to the spirituality. Divine sparks in mankind. Is it so hard between the spirit and the body? Why be ashamed of the body? Lust can be a holy, sacred, divine thing. Sexuality can be a sacred, divine, holy blessing. Consent and hygiene. I don't mind me some BDSM switch. As a matter of fact, I'm calling yay with therapy. with his ex, BDSM switch, and yours truly, Adrian Hana Dragon, and put on a leash for world peace, art, BDSM switch, audio, yay, yay. Meditations, spiritual meditations. And not dogmatic, don't know it all. One thing I do know, brothers and sisters, no prophet has dethroned the sun. And the sun and nature is part of God. God is God. They way too much God. I gotta put some goddess in it. Way too much God, man. I don't hear many people say goddess. But that's their business. I say if I die, give Omicron, goddess, forbid I don't want to die. I'm no longer suicidal. I keep on loving, man, and it brings me joy and pleasure to see young couples hugging, kissing, even in public, hygiene and consent. Matter of fact, my willingly loving allies and armies, if I can sing, dance, and love you, I do overtime love. Put in extra work, man, loving. Not just blah blah, like kissing, massaging, hugging, dancing, marching in steel toe boots, writing, creating art, philosophy, theory, right? Because I've been disillusioned and frustrated with organizations, proposals, and rejections, and red tape and bureaucracy. Dragon army on the floor, New World Order, 21st century, citizen integrated across all levels, securing food, housing, and transport, and then being of service, right? Being of service, securing, ensuring freedom, food, housing, and transport. Make it easy for transportation, to be able to move across. People don't get along, listen too much rock or techno, and the other one's always rap. You gotta move, get easy, east, west, north, south, to be allocated per citizen for transportation XYZ miles, and be able to change bi-weekly or monthly. And so there's a system and no abuse, right, for the services. You're not gonna ask for a massage every 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 half an hour. Give the Dragon Army some abuse, to be accountability. Say, hey, you already used your service today, one service a day, whatever it is. Want to help with the kids an hour? That's one service per citizen. You want a massage an hour? That's one service. XYZ. What can I have for wash? You got your half an hour. Somebody come Dragon Army, wash your head, wash your body, wash your feet. You use them service, and then you gotta also provide services. There's gotta be accountability. I live streaming the Dragon Army. Give the Dragon Army a massage, rubbing on the feet, start washing feet, cooking, cleaning, ranting, rapping, philosophizing. Because blah blah blah, blah blah. I've had periods of stagnation, periods of depression, suicidal, red tape, bureaucracy, sometimes thick philosophy and books. It's got to be balanced. Philosophy, theory by action. Action is required. Took blood, sweat, and tears. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly. Motto of the Dragon Army is nobody's born a dragon. You become one. You can be an ally, supporter, citizens of the dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. To be a member, peacekeeper of the Dragon Army, you must be able to do the general war integrated all body training system within the rules. The rules are simple, effective, and efficient. Got 93 minutes to do 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 hawks, that Trinity hawks, push-ups, squats, 100 for each, 13 maximum reps per set, 3 minimum anywhere in between. Keep those numbers in mind, 13 and 3 to go together. March, jog in between minimum, or run, walk fast pace, 31 seconds in between each, so there's no stop once the 93-minute countdown starts. So you put a clock. I'm doing average about an hour. Did more than 218 sessions so far. I go up to 300. I'm doing doubles now with the special workouts that I'm doing. That's part of spirituality. That can be. It's drinking a coffee, eating can be, because it feeds us to be a spiritual practice, an interconnected spirituality, right? I'm gonna say a prayer, meditation. Do a meditation too. I'm gonna use names of God. So many. Which one? I don't know. I'm gonna use all or none. It's God, Zai, God's eye, the sun. Well, I can't say no, I cannot say yes. Right? Could be. It could be. How can not? Right? I know the sun is rising, sun is setting now. It's 11:38 a.m. EST in Hokkaido, Montreal. The blue sky, so beautiful, sometimes stormy, and the divine being a storm, yes. Do we have a irrational, emotional side of selves at different levels and different, some are, and as much as I say we, by law, to be equal, we have a lot of differences, which you have to admit. I admit in some situations I am fucking useless, right? I can blah blah blah, I can just blah 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 and offer nothing other than blah 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 and philosophy. To my willingly loving armies, I love his action. Good. Come here, let me love you, hug you hard, squeeze you, rub you. With consent, and hygiene. If you're my willingly loving ally and army, pledge your allegiance. If not, stay 2 meters away, keep 2 meters distance, and keep my holy, sacred, and divine name out of your mouth, if it's not for a blessing. I like to say I like to live by, I say I don't owe nobody nothing. I am open for business, I've struggled, I've suffered, been depressed, suicidal. I'm androgynous, bisexual, pansexual, which includes being bisexual. I'm not perfect. Got questions. I do meditate. Sunrise, midday, midnight, the stars, the beautiful stars, the mysterious component of the stars and of the elements. Right? God, goddess. Right? If divinity is not in man, and a part of us, a divine spark, mysterious is not in us, what is? Struggle with freedom. Freedom. Fought humanity, not just Western civilization, but 20th century, First World War, Second World War, two world wars, right, knocking on the third World War, knocking on the, and paradoxically, in a paradoxical, parallel, providential way, the new workout training program, which actually began in 2019 in October, the General War Integrated All Body Training System, which was made, created, and designed to go hand in hand with the World War III scenario. Because for me, once the US-China trade war began, I said, whoa, we're on a path to World War III. So created that scenario to go hand in hand to my World War III scenario, which is caused by a global economic stock market crash, which causes a global financial collapse. And it's ongoing in a parallel timeline to me, working out, training, exercising, and everything that I do here from this January 26th. But COVID, 93 days later, my first performance of the General War Integrated Whole Body Training System was October 17, 2019. 93 days later, COVID hit. Now on COVID, my trinity is, has been, and will be this. First and foremost, do not know what caused COVID. Second, I believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings, meaning zoonotic transmission. Third, I cannot rule out another possibility, XYZ, man-made virus, an accident in a lab, or a bioweapon. Fourth dimension to that trinity, what do know 100% without a doubt is that 93 days or so before COVID began and performed October 17, the first session of the General War Integrated All Body Training System, aka the 300 workout, the Dragan Army standard workout and examination, plus the 93 questions with that. '93 questions. Perform the first session of the General Integrated Body Training System. Right? Hopefully somebody's making love now. It's 11:42 a.m. Hopefully. Because if not for love, what the hell are we fighting for, man? To safeguard civilization. Just not teenagers falling in love now. Spring coming, spring coming, spring coming. First love, man. February, mid-February, mid early March, mid-March, March, spring, right? The fuck are we fighting to? If y'all not making love, fuck are we going to build this human civilization? Shit. Anyways, 93 days before COVID began the General Integrated Body Training System, aka the Dragon Workout, aka the 300 Workout. Right? I don't know what caused COVID. Believe it was snakes. Cannot rule out another possibility. Fourth dimension to that trinity. What I do know is that before COVID, I've created the General War Integrated Body Training System, aka the Dragon Army Workout, the 300 Workout, created, made, and designed to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in my scenario is caused by a global economic stock market crash, which causes a global financial collapse and resembles COVID. Now, due to COVID, the stock market crash began February 20th, 2020, and ended about April 7th, triggering recessions and depressions, the worst economic, financial, commercial crises since in 70 years, since the Second World War. So having created that scenario, it also had the solutions. And since July 24th, 2020, in the midst of COVID, that's what had began, and I'm calling for the implementation of the solutions, just like in my scenario. Creating the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, not just for security, but to be totally integrated across all organizations and institutions, secure food, housing, and transport, and provide services. Whatever services can be offered. What? With consent and hygiene, nothing excluded. Nothing out of the table. Fellow citizen, ally, supporter, subject to the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom wants XYZ. Needs a good, needs help with the children, needs to, can you, somebody read to my kids a book? I have a book or two, and we bring books, we read to the children. Children are too hyperactive, they need to dance a half an hour, they need to do some push-ups. Dragon Army, and the kids, we're gonna do some workout. We're gonna work out with the kids, the teenagers, right? Be east, west, north, south. Ensuring freedom, securing freedom. Channel their aggressions and their violence so they don't take it on each other. Be encouraged with the body, to understand their body and their lusts and their sexual impulses, not to be ashamed of them, and to discuss and to hold that the whole body, all the functions of the body and the lusts and the cravings, whether for physical pleasure, whether to get better fit exercise, to be understood and channeled. Channel. Dragon Army. That freedom with our own different characteristics. Whether you believe in my spirituality or me as a universal spiritual teaching student, because I'm learning every day. I don't know what's all the spiritual practices. I do say Mother Nature when I go out on my marches and I see the blue sky. So what a temple is this? What a temple. And imagining on this beautiful garden, all the light and life of the sun being shed on the flora and the fauna. All the light, all the light and the light and the life. So much of it now being shed on so much. Canada, US, 11:47 a.m. Canada, US, Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panama, Honduras, Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, Chile, Belize, on North, Central and South America, Cuba, at the islands. It's 11:47 a.m. So that means if we do -3, it's 8:47 on the West Coast because it's 3 hours time zones. So much light and life is being shed. And as more south we go, it gets warmer. It's -20 here in Hawk Island, Montreal. It's cold. This day I'm just gonna clean, meditate, and work out today. I went out yesterday for a 3-hour march. And I see the trees, trees, trees. Are the hair on the goddess's body. Look, so majestic. 3 times 7 size, 7 times my size. The hairs on the goddess's body. Trees, whether the acacia trees in Africa, baobab trees in Africa, those in the Amazon, those in that the pandas eat in Asia, China, the big ones in Northern Europe, or big ones here in Canada. All the trees of the world are the hairs, hair on the goddess's body. This is Mother Nature, greatest scientist and artist, divine. This is so hard for us to say goddess as well. Say God, God, God. Sounds too patriarchal, too male-centric. And as I saw to my LGBTQ community when they say, oh, you're sinning, you're doing this, you're going to go to hell, you're going to go to burn. Forget that. Just say, no. My rainbow goddess only requires consent and hygiene. Love, man. L-O-V, rainbow waves. Meditate, dance. Dancing, for me, is a spiritual practice. Try to connect with primordial forces and energies that are hidden and that are part of this Mother Nature. Thrown here, revolving around the sun with the planets, the solar system, and the universe with all the stars. For we are blinded by the sun's light, as much as light and life on the macro scale constantly is being shed for that dance with the goddess, dances with the brother sun to make, create, and produce all A-L-L fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters farmers harvest. I wish the Dragan army can go give them a massage. They deserve it. The nurses, they're about to collapse. The truckers. Now, this meditation to attain harmony between nature and civilization. Right? All the truckers now providing food. Going down to grocery store clerks, unloading in steel-toe boots. Right? The leaders of the free world, they want us to go to third world, knocking on the door with the World War III, just like in my scenario. Dragon Zero's not taking any orders, nah. From any leader of the free world, man. Who? Which one? G7, NATO, 30 NATO members. I am calling the mobilization of 1% of citizens across all NATO countries. Code 31 to be Israel to become a NATO member as well. 31st. I hope the situation with Russia can be resolved. I can pronounce myself peaceful, mutually beneficial, cordial relationship. It's not an easy, complex, it's a more delicate situation. It's not that black and white. There's gray areas there. I'm hoping for peace. Right? A lot of people on the comments from what I see, I am a millennial myself. I was born in many countries, many empires, many nations since the building of the pyramids till now, 2022. Twice in the USA, 156 years ago, that way. 718 miles south of Hawk Island, Montreal, served in the U.S. Army. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to take orders from Justin Trudeau, man. Justin, when's the last time you wore steel toe boots? I wore my steel toe boots yesterday. As a matter of fact, the double sole is coming off now. I need new ones. Mr. Trudeau, when's the last time you wore steel toe boots, brother? Brother. You're born with a silver spoon. Nothing personal against Trump. Still challenging Trump to a boxing match on the U.S. Canadian border for world peace. You know, Dragon's Fist are gonna make Trump's nose grow like Pinocchio. Sing that Kanye, yo, bro. Alright. Alternative solutions. If I'm criticizing, I will provide alternative solutions. I believe in parallel with others, my complementary cooperative theories, the trinity of theories of citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory, which I've written over the many years past, given now in a compendium, part of the philosophy of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom and the phoenix people's party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, universal revolutionary centrist party. So I'm a universal revolutionary centrist, not a fascist, not a communist, not a fucking dictator. I mean, I take orders from like, freedom, freedom, is a double-edged sword, heavy to lift. I admit, got tiny hands, tiny feet, and a tiny little androgynous scar-clipped dick. Now that we got out of the way, I got a fourth dimension to that tiny trinity. I got a big mouth. Who's gonna lift the sword of freedom? It's double-edged. I admit it's too heavy for me to lift by my solo. I need help, I need support. My sister, she can lift it by herself. Sword of freedom. Or this dimension of ourselves which we don't admit, right? We educate our children, we want to continue to go back. There's nothing that I want to go back to. Pre-COVID, I died during COVID. I don't know it all. I understand they rush back. Economic, financial, commercial pressures. It's hard. It's hard, man. Some pressures, gossip. Where we don't like to admit that. Well, listen, I'm mediocre in comparison to him or her. I can't do that. Okay, basketball, beautiful and tall. Pop, 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 pop. I can't play basketball. I can do a little bit of football, tackle, run, do some workout push-ups, do some boxing. Boom, boom, boom. Right, dancing among the best, poet, the best, together combined, the best, greatest world, millennial, because Crowley was the best ever poet. Aleister Crowley was the ever poet. Combined, I admit, so many things were interconnected. We take for granted. Right. I look at the workers sustaining the electricity in Quebec. I saluted them the other day. I said, thanks, man. Got electricity. Yeah, it went up a bit, but still, it's not that expensive. I can afford it. I get a check due to many tens of thousands, millions who labored to have a social security net. Right. I'm open for business. Right. Certain situations, I am mediocre. In certain situations, I am even lower than mediocre. Right. So integration, citizen integration theory, to integrate. Brothers, farmers, truckers, workers, Hydro Quebec, love you, man. Y'all need a massage, some good loving, good washing of the feet, some good hugging. It's, we got two oceans, the Atlantic that way, the Pacific that way. That way, west is the Pacific, the Atlantic that way. I gotta act local, think global. I think global, act local. I think global, act local. Sometimes I am a dreamer. My meditations, look at my dream I had. How do I interpret it? Three phrases. I am the goddess. I am all around you. And it's true, we cannot escape even civilization. We're interdependent. And as much a level that we can attain, whether social stratification, social strata of hierarchy of XYZ, and we have some levels of competency. In some situation, I'm not competent. I never did XYZ in this life. Farming, I said I'm totally fucking useless. Well, I'm not, because I do have some years where I did urban farming. But last year on my videos, Rants and Rants, Real Raw Revolutionary, I've said I felt that I am fucking useless because I never farmed. I said, how can I feed somebody? Right? See, a lot of things go out the window. PhDs. How the theory melts like the snow in the March sun, man. That's why philosophy theory gotta be complemented with action, activity. LOV, love is action, right? Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Sheryl Sandberg. Come here, my underground room, Austin Temple. Actually, I was gonna offer you a cup of coffee. I do have some espresso that I could offer you, but my supplies are running low. Supplies are running low. The parallel life science, innovation, and technology is my chosen path. Of spirituality, philosophy, sexuality, art, independent psychological theorist, my own theories, of course inspired by a little bit by Freud, a little bit by Jung, a little bit by Crowley, Trinity, the fourth dimension, yours truly, Dragan, Rainbow Dragon. Now, I'm meditating all the things that make society, civilization move, and I'm hoping that we're gonna get past an impasse, right? Focus with solution to securing and ensuring freedom, right? All this new technology, social media, more mental illness. It's hard to talk. It's hard to say, man, I'm bisexual, or I'm a homosexual. I've been struggling for 20 years with interracial homoerotic lusts. Well, see how many years it took. I have one open gay player in the NFL. It took so many years. National Football League. Carl Nassib is perhaps one of the bravest, freest motherfuckers on the motherfucking field, motherfucker. But he's not the only one. That's... I want to go back to pre-COVID, man? Nothing, and I want to go back to pre-COVID. I died during COVID. I'm being reborn now. I want us to be reborn also to a new world order of world peace, international justice, security, and ensured global freedom. Technology, why go back? Yes, it has created pains and struggles and the things we don't like to admit, and balancing the individual with the collective, securing and ensuring freedom. Right? I get triggered too, I get upset. I get emotional, moody, got moody, like staying in bed. Once I go out a bit, half an hour marching, I'll feel much better. Get some sunlight, feel much better. Sometimes it was hard to get into the workout. As I get into it, 15 minutes, warming up, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I feel much better. The importance of regular physical activity. Who's gonna doctor? Who's gonna disagree? I'm the people's doctor, Dr. Dragan, and I'm not perfect. Don't play self-righteous, right? I don't play it self-righteous. In my spiritual levels, I'm most of the times in the middle. Sometimes with a foot in the higher self, sometimes in the foot of the lower self, right? Subconscious forces motivates us. That motivates us the darker aspects of self. It's hard to have that voice with the higher say, hey, it's, choose different. How would I get upset? For example, somebody wrote the other day, and a few times somebody writes, seek professional help. I'm calling for world peace, peace brothers, peace brothers. Maybe he's going through some issues. Maybe he needs that. But that's why we have gossip. Sometimes we feel inferior or feel somebody's better than us at XYZ. We feel jealous and we gossip. It's hard to be addressed straightforward and direct, and as much as philosophy is do have theory, sophisticated vocabulary, sometimes gotta be straightforward and direct. And a lot of people get a culture shock when they go to Israel, state of Israel. They mistake Israelis as being rude, rude, when it's a cultural, be more straightforward and direct. And sometimes we gotta be. Rent is paid, food I got. What do I want? And what do I need? Because I work out, train, and regular physical exercise. I'm sore. I took a bath, yeah. Spiritual bath and physical bath can go hand in hand together. I use a neck rub. Oh yeah. A good massage. I'm willing to give, receive. Money, I'm broke, I admit it, but I'm not poor, I'm rich. Founded the dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom with 156 trillions of kisses. They're credited with the condition that I will freely distribute to all my willingly loving allies and armies. See? Now one kiss of the starlit heavens who send one kiss to the goddess, her sister who dances with her brother's son. And that kiss turned into 156 trillions of kisses. The spiritual aspects, universal spirituality. We have so many religions, spiritual beliefs. Right? We see how some intersect at some point in level, and sometimes there's conflict. Sometimes there's conflict. Sun still shines, and will after I'm gone. The dance, and then when I'm gone, dance, love, massage, kiss, wash, feast. My name Adrian, not a dragon. Look toward the sky and imagine me kissing you, telling you push-ups, squats, hawks, march. Yeah. The mysterious aspects of nature, Mother Nature, the forgotten goddess, was the greatest scientist and artist. Look at a rainbow, how beautiful it is. And a beautiful blue sky. Is creator, the creator separate from this? No, I don't think so. I don't know for sure. I believe in a supreme, powerful force, but as much as the level can attain. Brothers in the NFL, National Football League, brothers in the NHL, National Hockey League, brother in the NBA, multi-millionaire artists, rappers, CEOs, financial. They also gotta eat. We gotta feed. Food, holy, sacred, and divine. I'm grateful to have a sandwich. But in the heat is, finish this wrap up, I'm gonna do a meditation. Got food. Multi-millionaire athletes. They also gotta eat. What are you gonna eat? Can't eat smartphones. Can't eat the paper. How can I eat this laptop? Don't try, don't try, don't try. You know what I'm saying? And that fruit grows from the dance. It's produced, made, and created by the dance of the goddess with her brother's son. With the black fertile earth and the water and our brothers and sisters, we've learned brains and muscle, brains and muscle, brains and muscle to harvest those fruits for us to build, maintain, or upgrade civilization. Me doing art. I believe art is part of upgrading civilization. And art and spirituality, they can go tango, dancing hand in hand together. My dancing is a spiritual pursuit. I meditate. Meditate on history. Meditate on the body's function, the food that we eat, the coffee, the dreams coming from irrational aspects of ourselves, sometimes ashamed and unadmitted because we don't admit openly, don't discuss. Like my dream. So irrational. Didn't make much sense. Didn't make much sense at all. Like storm, dark figures, part humanoid, part ghostly, ghastly, part otherworldly. It was very irrational dream. Stormy, but yet there were like white lightning and some golden rays. There was grayness, blackness, storm clouds, and trees and human beings and buildings even. It was totally, it made a little bit artistic. What do I make of it? How do I interpret it? Light after the storm. Sometimes we're moved by subconscious willy-nilly forces. We hear a word, whatever it is, black or white or rainbow or LGBTQ or Jesus or Rabbi Jesus or Moses or Muhammad, goddess, perhaps those who only say God, 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 and never say goddess. Maybe they get triggered, but when I say goddess, well, I'm gonna say it. My goddess dances with her brother the sun, and I see the sun, and I see the goddess. Part, tiny, I'm a piece of dust. Dancing dust nonetheless. Look at the trees, hairs on the goddess's body. The goddess, Mother Earth, and the heavens, her sister above, starlit heavens. What makes to the center of our hearts, to make our hearts beat? Our consciousness, our cultures, our universal human aspirations. I do believe we have universal human aspirations and values. We have a diversity of experiences, of knowledge, right? Feelings, emotions. Sometimes we feel inferior to others in XYZ circumstances, situations, or when we in applied, in work, in art. But we have some things that are complementary, that can be complemented. To do a meditation, just on a dream, in the morning, in the afternoon. Just meditate on that. Imagine Mother Nature now getting all the light and the life across the Americas. It's 12:09 p.m. EST, Hokkaido, Montreal. It's 9:09 BC, British Columbia, Vancouver, California on the West Coast. It's 12:09 p.m. noon, lunchtime. Gonna go for some lunch. Goddess, goddess, goddess. All the flora and the fauna in it, and our civilization, the cities which we built from the elements consisting within Mother Nature, the sacredness of the elements, who created the elements and the origins of being. Well, that's a thought, maybe transcending time and dimensions, which perhaps some things are better left to mystery, right? It's because I don't know it all. I know a little bit, calling all willingly loving yours truly, Adrian, not a dragon. I'm hungry, so Mother Nature made some wheat, so I'm gonna go eat some bread and keep on living, fighting, loving. Love you.